Oh, hello. Oh, no. I'm not the Crown Princess Persephone. Heavens to mercy, no. Thank you for thinking I am her. It's quite an honor. But my name is Avalon of Theatrical. Madam Captain Phoenix Rose, if you want to go by my Captain of the Guard title. Yes, I am the Captain of my own guard. I've always been skilled with the bow, and arrow, and spears, and swords, and everything really in between. But that is besides the point. I have actually come to talk to the monarch. Oh, they aren't available? That's perfectly fine. Yes, I wouldn't mind talking to the princess. Of course. I was once a princess myself, so I completely understand. Each lesson must come in their own time. Oh, you'll take me to the palace. Wonderful, thank you. I'm afraid I would have probably been quite lost if I hadn't run into you. Thank you. Yes. I think I can find the throne room from here. Thank you. What's your name? Leia. Oh, would you mind doing me a favor? Brilliant. Would you mind telling my crew on my ship, the Mystic Road, a very large ship, purple and trim, white sails, rose decor, can't really miss it. It has the name Mystic Rose etched and painted in purple. Beautiful scripture. Would you mind telling them I'm in a meeting with the Crown Princess, and I might be a while. So tell them to find shelter in town, rest up a bit, maybe eat, drink, and have some fun. Relax, not so. I mean, I can't be serious all the time. I have to be serious when I need to be. A bit of time. I just let my people have political freedom. Their opinions value to me. Very. Thank you so much. I wonder when she'll be there. Ah, Crown Princess Persephone. It is an honor to make your acquaintance. And I hope that's good. If it's not, let me know. I can change up a few things. So I guess that's it. Hope you enjoyed.
Messenger. Yes, I'm speaking to you. Are you hard of hearing? Right. Okay. Of course, I have a message for you to take back to Cordavia. By the looks of you, I doubt you've been in the business for long. Wait a minute. Are you actually cleaning your uniform? Most of your colleagues that I've had the displeasure to encounter don't even have the brain to wipe them down once in a while. Okay. I speak as I find, yet you seem to react as if you know me. I can assure you that had we met before, I would remember it. However, I shall give you the honor of an introduction. I am Duke Octavius, Governor of the city of Cordavia. So you know the city well. I'm glad to hear it. Tell me, You seem a remarkable sort to be a lowly messenger. You seem far too intelligent for such a role. Aha. So, you studied within one of the guilds within the city. Let me see. Looking at your clean fingernails and rather well-kept appearance, I would say that you've studied at one of the writers' guilds. So, you were a writer, or, moreover, a trainee archivist. Now, it is beginning to make sense. I see exactly what has happened. He's gotten involved again, hasn't he? The historian. He's so protective of his role in this land, he will do anything, and I mean anything, to keep it. I've never known a man so threatened by honest competition. Yes, well, myself and several other members of the royal court, including the Crown Princess, have been working hard to have him removed from his position of power. We know how much of a threat he is to the history of this land. The stories he tells, I can assure you, are entirely untrue, or at least, if not untrue, wildly inaccurate. Why, yes, he is using it as propaganda for person or persons unknown. We have gathered enough evidence to prove it. I believe he's working alongside cultists of the Tyrant King. During our early investigations, we have uncovered knowledge that there is a group of traitors who are determined to see a return of the most dangerous being in our history. The stories he tells are only partially inaccurate. If you meet him, don't let him tell you the second half of the story. That's where the lies and deceit start to come through. He uses it to recruit people to the cause. Agreed. On the surface, he seems friendly enough, even approachable, but it is the belief of myself and the Duchess Eleanor of Taros that he poses a threat to this realm. Unfortunately, she has decided to concentrate upon the city of Dreven and the plague that stalks its streets. Still, we continue regardless. As I have said, I have a message for you to take back to Cordavia. I trust you will take care of it. It contains information of a delicate nature, and I would hate for it to fall into the wrong hands. You are intelligent. I'll grant you that. However, I'm not at liberty to discuss the contents of the letter. Such a question should never cross the mind of a messenger. Please do remember that. You can quickly make enemies by asking too many a question. I will assure you, however, that it is important that you take it to my chief scribe. They will know what to do once they receive it. I would remain with them, as I am certain they will have their own messages to be delivered. I feel I can trust you on this matter, more so than I would trust any other messenger. I can inform you that one is to be sent to my wife. The Duchess is currently out in the desert realm, studying ancient artifacts. The other members of the nobility mock her for taking such an interest, but when we first met, it was her curiosity and enthusiasm for knowledge that caught my attention. Yes, she is a strong, independent mind. She will go wherever there is knowledge and study to be obtained. I have paid a great deal of coin for her to visit the desert realm, though I continue to fear for her well-being now that the crown has been discovered. Yes, the crown of the Tyrant King. They found it about a month ago, though rumor has it that it's been stolen. I can assure you, news travels quickly in this land. When I received word from Marguerite that the crown had been rediscovered, she begged me to fund her expedition further so that she could stay in the desert realm to see it. I know the true history behind it, and in my honest opinion, the crown needs to be destroyed. If the rumours are true, and it has fallen into the wrong hands, it will spell disaster for the monarchy. Whosoever wears the crown wields the power of the tyrant king. If Lord Volkov has it, then the monarchy is truly doomed. Oh, you don't know who Lord Volkov is? He's the ruler of Dreven. Though his leadership is highly illegal, it is written in Ondarian law that only a duke or duchess can rule over a city unless a governor or overseer is appointed by the monarch. Best example is Trigen to the southwest of here. Yes, you speak truthfully there. It is said he did take on the guise of a governor, but when Volkov revealed his true nature, that is when the plague started to spread around the streets of Dreven. It is now a shadow of its former self. I can understand why Eleanor is so concerned about it. Trust me on this. You must never visit Dreven. If anyone ever asks you to take a message there, refuse it. I've heard of messengers being attacked by invisible forces beyond our understanding. Some say they enter through the gates and never return. We don't know for certain what goes on behind those gates, yet it seems Eleanor does, and if she has knowledge of it, I know for certain it is dangerous. She doesn't set up a cause or campaign simply for the joy of it. I don't know if you have crossed paths with her or not. However, she would be able to tell you more. I would join her cause without question, were she here to explain it. I have known her for a long time, and since the death of her husband, Duke Henry, she has stepped up as the leader of the city with the dignity and honour that is expected of all Ondarian nobility. She certainly earned my respect. You speak truthfully, my friend, in regard to these matters. However, it seems our time conversing is at an end. Lady Isabella is beckoning me. It seems it is my turn to meet with the Crown Princess. I have much news of great importance to speak of with her. Much to report, indeed. I hope you will return to Ondar City once you have delivered my message back to Cordavia. I will have need of your services again. I will have many highly classified documents to send to various people, and I need a messenger who is intelligent enough to not ask questions. We shall meet again. For now, however, I bid you a very good day. Till next time.
Good day to you, friend. You seem weary. Have you traveled far this day? Ah, the desert realm. You bring news from the capital city there, do you? I do trust it is good news. Oh, I'm sorry I am not the crown princess, I'm afraid. You have a case of mistaken identity, my friend. Oh, that's kind of you to say so, but no. I am Lady Astralla, governess royal to the city of Verona, capital of the former Forest Kingdom. I know I don't look it. Before I became governess, I spent much more time on my appearance, but now you will find me as you see me today, ink-stained and disheveled. So much important business to attend to. Why, yes, I am of elven descent. Oh, you know of our history, do you? Interesting. I always assumed messengers were an uneducated and somewhat uncouth group of citizens, yet here you are, looking a little worse for wear, I admit, but showing a great politeness and knowledge. Ah, I see. You're not a messenger by choice. May I ask what happened to force you into such a position? The historian. Who hasn't met the historian? He's an awful, dull little man. Have you ever heard him tell the story of the Tyrant King? It's his voice, though. It goes right through you. Horrible man. Yes, I have crossed paths with him before. As I have said, I am not surprised he plotted to have you thrown out of the Scholars Guild. He is jealous of anyone who shows the merest glimmer of talent. He wants the fame and glory of telling the tale all for himself. He is not welcome in the city of Verona, that is for certain. Indeed? Well, I am certain your true talent would be most welcome. We have our own history and tales to tell of that dark time. Perhaps we might be able to offer you alternative employment. However, till then, you will have to continue as a messenger. Oh, so you do have a message for me. May I see it then? I must see the latest news from across the borders. This is not good. Not good at all. It's word from the general back in Verona. The rebel faction has taken the town of Turva. I don't know why I'm telling you all this, but it is truly worrying. They have the main route into the Forest Kingdom from Port Nightsong. Riverend is too small for ships. The waters in its bay are far too shallow. Port Nightsong is the only viable option for our trade with the other lands across the uncharted ocean. No, to take another route would add days to the transport of goods. Turva is on the most direct road to the port from Verona, and losing it is terrible indeed. I'm petitioning their majesty for independence from the Ondarian monarchy. We shall still recognize them as a figurehead of leadership, but we need to return to our traditions. My people are forgetting their roots, and we need to be able to revive our true way of life. Well, it's why I was chosen to act as the ambassador. I am, as you may be aware, Governess Royal of Verona. I am of royal descent. My greatest ancestor was Queen Hildegard. She was a reluctant warrior queen who united the elven tribes together into a unified nation. Our history speaks highly of her. Oh, I suppose I'm very much like her, but my direct ancestry is that of the half-elf. Purebloods disappeared many years ago before the Tyrant King came into existence. Although there is a myth amongst my people that says they became the vampires. I think this is ridiculous, of course. Elves are, or at least were, a peaceful people who would only fight for their survival, and only in the direst of circumstances. I'm delighted to know you don't agree with the story either. Have you ever met a vampire? I certainly hope not. Terrible people. I trust you've never visited Draven either? Draven is now known as the Cursed City. It goes by a different name these days. What was it now? Ah, yes. It's known as Necrotia. I truly hope you never visit it. They have a terrible festival held there every 10 years. They call it the Blood Harvest. Yes, well, if you ask me, the place should be wiped off the map. Look, I'm not an advocate of war. I never will be, but when vampires are involved, they are a parasite this continent must be cleansed of. I understand your reaction. I have seen too many of their victims. We have successfully developed cures for vampirism and have helped thousands of those burdened by the curse that befalls them. We do not believe in total destruction if they are willing and able to ask for our help, but the city of Draven has become a den of corruption we can no longer ignore. You ask what this has to do with independence from the monarchy? Well, nothing, in all honesty. But if I am to protect my people from outside threats such as the vampires, I will do everything in my power to ensure their wishes are followed. I was not placed into a position of responsibility simply to strut around with an air of arrogance. That is not our way in Verona. It seems Ondarians could learn a lot from us. Well, what you say is true. It seems evil has spread amongst this realm, and with the discovery of the crown of the tyrant king, it is likely to get a whole lot worse. Oh, I dread to imagine what would happen if it fell into the wrong hands. When you have found the crown princess, come and speak to me. I like your attitude. Perhaps there is a new position for you on my personal staff. I could use someone of your talents and skills. You are a good listener, and I like that in a person. We shall meet again, and I shall hope you are prepared to join me. May the spirits of the forest guide and protect you, my friend.
Crown's been stolen. I have incredible fears for that. Oh no. I'm not afraid of the return of the Tyrant King. My fear is that this could trigger off another war. And that's the last thing we want. I, like many others, agree that it must be destroyed. I would rather have it destroyed than the alternative. It would be a catastrophe if there's another war. It begs the question, who would take it and what would be their motives? Well, I'm fresh out of ideas, Squire. What do you think? Very true. Does hold high value, as we said. But at what cost? Whoever took it, they won't be able to enjoy their treasure and value if a war breaks out. Someone's obviously clueless to that fact. Don't you worry, I'll find it. See, I've not seen anything like this since my days on the sea. Not since the jewel in the ship was taken, and there was threat of mutiny on board that ship. Not good. Imagine that, but I'd say times that by 100. through fate we're facing if we do not find this crown. You have to understand that. This is a very easy target, thinking about it. Whoever's got it has not thought of the repercussions. I could take on the Tyrant King, no problem. I'm not afraid of them. It's this war. Because it will. It will. Guaranteed. It will get very sentimental when it comes to crown jewels and such. I know all about that. I would give anything to be out on the sea again. Life there was a lot less stressful than this, I can tell you. But I'm here now. I have a duty to fulfill. Especially now. Finding this crown, for instance. It'll only be a matter of time. So let's act upon it, shall we?
Good day to you. My name is Erica, the protector of the sacred light. You were about to ask if I was the crown princess, weren't you? Well, no, I'm not her. You see, I have the power to read your thoughts. I am the personal assistant and friend to Lady Astralla. Have you met her yet? I see. Well, either way, I give you my greetings. Why, yes, I am from the forest realm, born and raised. My friend, I would like to point out that not all of us among us have completely elven appearances. Their blood flows through our veins, but the true elves disappeared centuries ago. We are descended from the half-elves that occupied their land after their departure. I am indeed well versed in our history. However, now is not the time nor the place for such conversation. I'm sure we'll be able to discuss this topic in more detail at another time. Now, you appear to be somewhat a pleasant Ondarian, but something tells me that you are not in the right profession. You are clearly not a messenger by choice. Ah, a scholar. I knew your fingers were too well groomed to be a mere deliverer of tidings both good and bad. Now tell me. No, wait, no, let me guess. The historian? No. I prefer to keep my opinions about that pitiful man to myself, as it might affect my balance with the crystal. You ask me which crystal? Ah, you clearly have never visited Verona, have you? The forest realm was once a kingdom in its own right, but with the invasion of the Tyrant King so long ago, the name was lost to many, and the current name of the forest realm rose in its place. I believe that is the same for the desert realm in the east. Quite so. That is why Lady Astralla and I are visiting the Crown Princess. She is on our side, you see, to restore the forest realm back to a truly independent nation. Astralla is the Governess Royale, a title which the Ondarian monarch hates. Persephone has embraced it for our cause. That's correct. The Crown Princess is helping us in our campaign for independence. It is our hope in due course that we'll be able to replant the forests that our enemies destroyed centuries ago. Our home was never a barren wasteland like you see today. It used to be lush green forests with trees and animals of different species. The tyrant king was an enemy that tore down our forests, decimated our natural resources and corrupted our land. We are working hard to undo the damage that he caused so long ago. We have been unable to because of the monarch here in Ondar City. Every time we try to restore our land, they come in and tear down the trees, as they say that they are a sign of rebellion. You are kind to say so, however. That is a responsibility for Astralla to deal with. Upon my return to Varuna, I shall return to the other protectors and tend to my new duties. Perhaps an explanation will help you to understand. There are 3 protectors, and we each guard a sacred artifact. Ulora protects a sacred heart. It's not what you're imagining. It's a metallic object that emits a strange energy. Anyone who comes close to it feels rejuvenated and full of life. It makes a noise much like a heartbeat. Next we have Jessica, protector of the sacred chalice. Those who drink from the chalice receive good luck and prosperity. If those who consume its precious waters are of evil thoughts and malicious intent, the chalice shall run dry. And finally there is me, protector of the sacred light, a diamond that emits a strange light. It heals injuries and restores life force. Those who approach it who are of evil heart will actually have their life force drained from them. When the 3 artifacts are brought together, they form a machine that is known as the Titan. How it all works together we do not yet know. The Titan is a mysterious machine, created by the true elves centuries before they disappeared. That is correct. We have never had to use it, but we know that the 3 artifacts control it in some manner that we do not yet understand. It is the duty of myself and my sister protectors to ensure that the artifacts do not fall into the wrong hands. If they did, that would spell disaster. Imagine if the Tyrant King actually returned and managed to acquire all 3 items. The Titan is unstoppable, and when used for darkness, we wouldn't stand a chance against it. That is the problem. We can't destroy it. It was built to last. The metal is resistant to high temperatures. We had experts arrive from Trigen to try and melt it down, but the metal can withstand the heat of their forges. We have never seen anything like it. Exactly. That is why the protectors were created by the first generation of half-elves. There have to be 3, because if there were only 1, the power could be abused. It happened a couple of centuries ago. However, perhaps that is history for another time. Hopefully Astralla and I will not be kept waiting for too long. I know she is busy with her work at the moment, so she'll probably be working. I tell her she's overdoing it, but she won't listen to me. She's determined to see this through until the very end. No one can miss Astralla, always dealing with paperwork, pen in her hand, scribbling notes in journals, writing letters. She's a diplomat, and a good one too. But sometimes I think that she's too engrossed in her work. Still, I won't keep you any longer. It seems like you have a message to deliver to the Crown Princess. I hope you get to meet her, and I'm sure you will. As a messenger, I'm sure you get to meet a lot of very important people. You don't have to be so modest about it. You're doing a good job, I can tell. Now your job is even more important with the documentation that you carry from the desert realm. Therefore, I shall bid you farewell and let you be on your way so you can complete your task in hand. It has been a true pleasure to speak with you. Good day, my friend. May the spirits of the forest realm guide you along your journey. Goodbye.
So, what have we here then? You, my friend, look as if you would run the perimeter of the city walls 10 times over. I don't believe I've ever seen anyone look as exhausted before. No, my friend, I'm not the Crown Princess. My name is Zarah, Ambassador of the Desert Realm. Oh, you have a message for me also. From the governor. Interesting. Well, may I have it? Thank you. Now, let's see. Okay. Interesting. Most interesting. Oh, you'd like to know what's written within. I'm sorry, my friend, but I believe the contents of this message is not for the eyes nor ears for those who are not permitted to view it. However, I may have a use for your services. I have friends all over the continent who are collecting various journals that may be of great interest to me. Well, I don't mind telling you about the journals, of course. It's no big secret. It's an ancient text written long ago by a writer whose name has been long forgotten. What I know for certain is that the text itself tells of a great and powerful enemy long before the tyrant king ever came into existence. Yes, I know that the tyrant king is said to be a myth, but I have heard tell that they have found what is believed to be his crown. Whether or not I believe it's another matter, but if it's true, it's a powerful symbol of darkness that must be destroyed. Well, you are correct. The stories say that though he was defeated, he was never confirmed to be dead. No one knows what happened to his body after the final battle. It was never found. And the crown itself, well, it was lost until now. I don't know why, but for some reason, I feel like I'm beginning to trust you. I like your attitude. For a messenger, you ask all the right questions, but go without overthinking them. Have you ever thought about joining the diplomatic service? I think you'd go far. You seem to understand the etiquette of the diplomat. I might have a place for you in my personal staff. When you've gone seen the princess, come find me, and perhaps we can discuss a change of direction for your employment. I certainly feel you could be of great assistance to me. I'm delighted you agree. I have a good feeling about you. Clearly, your skills and talent are wasted on the messenger service. What do you know about the troubles of the desert realm? I thought so. It seems you know nothing. Well, I'm more than happy to elaborate for you. You've been there, haven't you? Of course you have. Otherwise, you would not have brought me the message from the government. So, tell me, what do you make of it? I agree. The city itself has seen better days. The governor may have turned the fortunes of the realm over to a more positive status, However, as a leader, he still struggles. The capital city is run down. Many buildings require restoration, and in the desert, life is even worse. The poverty is heartbreaking. It is my sole duty to ensure that we gain support from the monarchy to help as many of our citizens as we can. The nomadic tribespeople can survive, of course. However, it is the settlers in the outlying villages that are severely affected. It is my solemn duty, as my word of honor, to ensure that these citizens get the help they need to survive, the uncontaminated water, and the ability to grow crops and raise livestock. In fact, water is the first and foremost top priority. I will not rest easy until I know each one of our citizens has accessible supply of clean, fresh water. With this simple right, we can help to bring disease under control and prevent outbreaks across the realm. I have seen too many people die from thirst and disease. Yes, you're correct. I'm getting ahead of myself. Thank you. This indeed is for the monarch to hear. I am truly passionate about the people I serve as ambassador. I truly intend to ensure they receive the rights they are so very much entitled to. I ask for nothing but their better health and protection and survival. I've made it my duty to look out for the welfare of people of the desert realm. You are correct, of course. It was all that he was talking about before I left the city to come here to speak with the monarch. Did you meet with Jordana at all to discuss her views? She shares the same sentiments I do. We met not long ago after the crown was found, and we both agreed it needs to be destroyed. We both see it as a symbol of darkness and destruction. We can't afford for it to fall into the wrong hands. In the governor's hands, it is dangerous enough. He must not be allowed to handle it any further. Fortunately, he has it locked away in one of the palace vaults, so it's safe to a degree. That said, I inspected the vault myself on the advice of Jordana and the independent witness before the crown was placed in there. Do you know how it would be to pick the lock of the door? Any skilled locksmith could crack it in within seconds. The traps he has installed are poorly constructed also. I fear there is more danger in a sand lion than the trap set to protect the crown. You speak the truth, my friend. I fear it may be a ruse. Perhaps he wants the crown to be stolen. I believe he yearns for a war and will do anything within his power to declare it upon anyone who wrongs him. He is biding his time. It would not surprise me. I wouldn't put treason past him. I know he has eyes upon the throne. I've heard him speak of it when the time will come. He will rule the Ondarian monarchy with benevolence. Don't ever believe a word of it. The more we speak, the more I get to like you. You seem to be a truth seeker, a quality I respect in those inquisitive mind. My pleasure. You are indeed a breath of fresh air to speak with in comparison to the self-centered, self-absorbed nobility of Ondar City. Mind you, Persephone is one of the only ones that I really do get on with. She shares my views on the situation, and we've been campaigning together for a brighter future for the desert realm. Oh, who's Persephone? The crown princess, of course. The reason for your arrival to begin with, I thought. You do have a message for her, don't you? Well, when you have met with Persephone, please do come and find me. I think we can truly arrange a transfer to my personal staff. I see myself in you, my friend. You have a vision, as do I. Such a vision I genuinely believe we can work towards together. You're going places, my friend. And it is a journey which won't involve delivering messages. Except the message of peace, prosperity, and hope. Well, for the moment, I wish you peace, harmony, and the love of my homeland. May you go forth and bring light wherever there is darkness, hope wherever there is despair. This is the truth of the desert realm. I bid you good day.
This is a bad business, but we're not the only ones in it. I don't know who you are, but I have news for you. We've received word that some clag named General Arvek is hunting for relics relating to the Tyrant King. Apparently, he works for Lord Volkov. You don't have to tell me the crown of the Tyrant King has been found, and no doubt been lost again. That's neither a good nor bad thing. It's a thing, but it means nothing. The prophecy is underway. That I can already see. The Forge Masters know and see all when we have to. Who am I? Who am I? I am Geoffrey of Trigen. I am the leader of the Forge Masters. I am the top man of the city. Oh, so you think the Overseer is in charge, do you? Wait. You're a messenger, aren't you? What do you know about the politics and leadership of Trigen? Oh, really? Much more than you let on, eh? Well, it seems to me you're no ordinary messenger. Your uniform is far too clean and neat to begin with. Are you actually cleaning it? So, you're a scholar by trade. I knew only someone of the learned classes would take care of such a uniform. Most messengers are scruffy, unkempt, uncaring people who would simply bring forth the messages, then disappear. You have a presence, a rarity in the profession, and yes, I use the term very loosely. You are the first that has even a glimmer of intelligence. And yes, I do make that statement as a compliment. You are fortunate. I'm not usually that complimentary, so make the most of it whilst you can. So, how did you end up a messenger? Wait. Let me guess. And I imagine the others you've spoken to have already made this conclusion. The historian. My word, he's a dangerous man. His tale of the Tyrant King is the most dangerous claptrap I've ever heard. It's completely inaccurate. None of the history in that tale is correct. Let me guess. He felt threatened by your intelligence, so found a way to have you booted out of that guild. Yes, I'm gonna have to have a word with Eleanor. I think we need to be rid of that man. He's a burden upon society, spreading his false history across the land. You know something? I would not be surprised if he is a cultist of the Tyrant King. You weren't aware of such cult? To be honest, not many people are. Only a small group of elite high-ranking nobles know of it. But they can't identify any members. It is clear to me, however, the historian has to be part of this conspiracy. His tale glorifies the Tyrant King, and he never tells anyone the second half of the story because he doesn't know the rest of it. Ha! So you've met the innkeeper in Garrulus. Yes, he is an advocate for the historian. However, I've managed to put a warrant out for his arrest. If we can do so quietly and put a new innkeeper in place, we can use it to entrap the historian. How long has it been since you were at the guild? I'm just thinking, that's all. Perhaps? No, perhaps not. If he recognizes you, he will know something is up. Although, yes, with the right work, we could perhaps use your assistance in bringing him to justice. We could put an end to his feeble attempt to undermine the fear of the Tyrant King. Of course, we have to make it look as if he's not being arrested. I believe many of the people who reside in the inn where he visits in Garrulus are also members of the cult. We have to act quickly and without drawing attention to the situation. I'll need to speak with Eleanor about this, although my meeting with the Crown Princess is more important at the moment. I need her to persuade the monarch in removing that idiot of an overseer in Trigen. He's become a thorn in my side. To be honest, I would not be surprised if he's a vampire. I don't think he knows that I know, however. This works to my advantage. I've called all the forges to strike, and all the time we're on strike, the less effective his leadership becomes. The thing is, we are autonomous to the monarchy. Even if the monarch wanted to send in the troops to deal with my workers, they couldn't because the Forge Quarter of Trigen is technically independent of Ondarian law. We have our own council. This puts the Overseer in an exceedingly difficult position, one that is in fact untenable. He will not last much longer. If I know that Eleanor has her eyes set upon him for her new task force too. If it is proven to be the case, and he is a vampire, she has big plans for him. To be honest, I have plans for him also. His holier-than-thou attitude is what gets me the most, however. It's too perfect. He seems to think he's better than all of us. Well, I've news for him. He isn't. He and his prophet friends he surrounds himself with. Definitely a member of the cult of the Tyrant King, if anything. Yes, I shall see him brought down with a massive fall. The time has come for the Forge Masters to take control of Trigen entirely. We don't need an overseer. We can increase production by increasing our influence across the city. This is the only way Trigen will become a powerhouse of forging prowess. Eh? I'm sounding like a power-mad dictator. Maybe you're right. Perhaps I need to rein in my enthusiasm. It could get me into trouble. However, the Overseer has to go, and it's a position that should be held by the Forge Masters. If we can govern a quarter of the city, we can govern the entire city. It's full of forges, farriers, metalworkers to begin with. It will be easy to bring them under the governance of a single council. It wouldn't take long to set up either. We'd rule from the Forge Quarter and merge the City Watch with our own guard into one elite defensive force. The Forge Quarter is big enough that we can bring the citizens within its walls at times of threat. We can quickly convert the worker barracks into defensive posts due to them being underground. It's perfect. Oh yes, I've got it all worked out, that's for certain. Still, I can't stand round here talking the likes of you all day. When you've finished with your own business, come and find me. Perhaps I might have a little task for you to deal with when the time is right. I'll ensure you're filled in on all the details by Garen when you see him. He's my second, so you'd answer to him for any tasks you receive. Oh, and if Eleanor gives the okay for my plan to take down the historian, I'll want your involvement for that too. Now get to it. We'll have work to do. Good day, my friend.
There you are. I've been waiting for you. Oh, sorry, you're not who I was expecting. That's me, Crown Princess Persephone. Princess of Action, they call me. So, why should I be like everybody else? Look, I know I'm of royal blood, but to be honest with you, being here in the palace all day, every day, isn't exactly my idea of entertainment. Well, I'd rather be patrolling the city walls or even the borders with our guards, catching criminals with the city watch, you know, that sort of thing. But apparently that is not the right thing for a princess. Have you ever met Trigen? No, a true noble lady and captain of the army. She spent a lot of her time lately traveling with the Duchess Marguerite of Cordavia. I think of her as my role model. Noble, but with a hint of danger about her. On the other hand, have you met my parents? They rule Ondaria, and they often say to me, Sevi, you're a princess of the realm. You need to start acting like one. Sometimes I just wish I could leave the palace and spend a day in the city without anyone to spy on me. Oh, so you have heard of my endeavors? Tell me, what do you think of them? I certainly think the desert realm needs assistance. The news Zarah brought to me is indeed worrying. If it's true and so many people are suffering, we need to remove the current governor and replace him with someone who will take the post more seriously. As for the independence of the Forest Kingdom, that's going to take way more persuasion from my parents. They are heavily protective of that realm, but if we play our cards right, Astralla and I may be able to broker an agreement. You forgot you have a message for me? I suppose I do talk so much I can make anyone forget their purpose. Thank you. Oh, this scroll definitely has been on a journey. It's all crumpled. Let's get that. Rip it off there. Well, this is what my parents have been hiding from me. It's a good thing I had an agent from the desert realm carry out an investigation for me. So, they found the crown of the Tyrant King, but it seems someone has decided to take it for themselves along the way. If it falls into the wrong hands, the Tyrant King could return. That would be a disaster. This is why I do what I do to prevent such events. What
What do I think about the crown? Well, my parents want it for themselves because they think it will bring them power. Personally, I think it should be destroyed, and many of the others agree with me. We can't have a symbol of evil and corruption such as that exist any longer. Well, I've been in contact with the Grand Master of Peacekeepers. He has plans to lock the crown away for eternity. But I don't think that's enough. The only way this nightmare will end is if it is fragmented. We do not need this crown. You speak the truth, my friend. It might be what the Tyrant King wants. Who knows what power the crown holds over him? You seem very well versed in the knowledge of our history. Oh, so you're a scholar? That makes sense. I had a feeling when you walked towards me that you were of much higher stock than most messengers. You don't have that air of self-importance about you. You speak the truth there, my friend. There are many nobles in the city who fit that description. I tend to avoid them. There's only a small number of people who I will have any time for these days. Well, Lady Isabella Drevlin is considered by some my partner in crime. She is my lady-in-waiting. But she's also my cousin. We're more like sisters, really. She's remarkably similar to me. Not one for the noble life. Well, she is good for information if you need to know anything happening in Ondar City. She's usually the first to hear the latest news. I'm surprised she didn't hear this yet. Would she have information on Trigen? Why are you interested in that place? Oh, you've been speaking to Astralla about it. Well, you certainly don't want to visit that city. It's corrupt beyond even my ability to save it through campaigning. It's ever since Lord Volkov took over, the Vampire Lord, as he's better known for. I have pity for anyone who sets foot through those gates. I only hope you don't have a delivery to make in that city. I heard they're having a dark festival known as the Blood Harvest. I really hope it's false information because I don't know what will happen if vampires successfully made their way to the rest of our society. If the discovery of the loss of the crown of the Tyrant King is true, I really hope it doesn't reach Trigen. If Volkov gets a hold of it, who knows what he will do? He could raise a loyal following. And did you know there's a rumored cult of the Tyrant King existing still to this day? Oh. Okay. I just spotted my bodyguard, General Askew, heading this way. You better make yourself scarce. He is vigilant and does not like me talking to anyone who he does not know. I'll conceal the message and respond in due course. Good thing I have these really long sleeves. Nothing to see here. I will send for you to take the message to my spy in the desert realm. Until next time, my friend, stay safe.